Good morning. This is the time and place for the planning hearing officer hearing for August 24th, 2022. My name is Roger Kiesel, and I will be conducting the hearing as hearing officer. Please turn off or put on vibrate your cell phones at this time, those in the audience. The planning hearing officer hearing is being broadcast live on Glendale TV, viewable on Spectrum Cable, Channel 6, and AT&T UVerse, Channel 99. Meetings are also streamed live in high definition on the city's webpage, glendaleca.gov/live, on youtube.com/myglendale, and on Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire devices using a free app called ScreenWeave and choosing Glendale TV from the menu. Hearings are also archived on the city's website for viewing anytime at glendaleca.gov/agendas. For public comments and questions during the hearing, please call 818-937-8100. City staff will be submitting the questions and comments in real time to the appropriate person. Records of decision for all projects will be posted online on the Planning Division's website. Please note that any appeals of a case heard today must be filed within 15 calendar days of the decision date. The appeal application is also available online. Let me let you know how the hearing will proceed. First, I will read a description of the application or the request. Second, I will read the reports received from other city departments and other letters or communications from interested parties. Then the case planner will make a brief overview of the case, giving analysis and making a recommendation. The applicant will then be asked to come forward stating both their name and address, and will be asked to present the case within a 15-minute time period. Then others in support of or in opposition to the application and interested parties will be asked to come forward to speak. Again, clearly stating both their name and address within a 3-minute time period. Finally, the applicant will be given the opportunity to make closing comments if desired in response to testimony given by the preceding speakers. They will have 5 minutes to do so. The hearing will then be closed and taken under submission. Regarding the findings, if the evidence presented in the application at the hearing meets the required findings set forth in the municipal code, then the project can either be approved or approved with conditions. If the findings of fact are not evident, then the request will be denied. Decision. After the hearing, the decision will be prepared in writing and will be in the form of a letter sent to the applicant and to all persons who responded to the public notice, either by speaking at the hearing or by submitting written responses and them having provided their name and mailing address. The date of the decision will be the date appearing on the letter. Appeals. Under the appeal provisions of Title 30, Chapter 30.62 of the Glendale Municipal Code, the decision may be appealed to the Planning Commission within 15 days of the date of the decision. Anyone wishing to appeal may obtain forms and brochures on the procedures from the Building and Safety Section Permit Services Center, located on the same floor in the Municipal Services Building, Room 101. Appeal forms are also available, as I mentioned before, online. Public notice. Notification of this hearing was accomplished by use of public notices which were mailed to property owners within 500 feet of the subject property, physically posted on the site in question and placed in the local newspaper. Actually, we noticed both property owners and occupants. So, speaker cards. If you wish to speak, please write your name and address on one of the speaker forms which have been provided by the front door and submit it to staff. I would also like to inform everyone that the official proceedings of the planning hearing officer hearing are recorded as part of the public record. Now we're down to the actual case hearing. We have one case scheduled for today. It is variance case number PVR 2118673. The applicant is Arvin Sharinians, and the case is located at 1844 Barra Road. It is a variance application, and the applicant is requesting to construct a new 1,175 square foot second story addition with an overall height of the house of 26 feet 8 inches to an existing one-story house, which was built in 1953. And the variance is requesting that this project not be built with the required minimum 5-foot interior setback. As proposed, the existing 1-foot 7-inch interior setback from the west property line to the garage wall will remain. That's what they're proposing instead of the 5-foot required. The project was routed to other city departments. I don't think there were major comments from any department or any anything unusual. Water and power, basically standard comments. From parks, standard comments. Fire, standard comments. Public Works, standard comments. There were comments from Public Works Maintenance Services regarding the on-site oak tree. Apparently, there's an oak tree on the subject site. The applicant's tree report recommends removing this oak tree, and our urban technician and maintenance services believes that that's appropriate and is requesting that 2 new Coast Live Oak trees, 15 gallons in size, be planted to replace the existing oak tree proposed for removal. That was really the only kind of non-standard comments. Now I'd like the case planner, Milka Toledo, to give a brief presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kiesel. So as you stated, this is a variance request. Excuse me, the PowerPoint's not working, so.
Do you want to try it from your computer?
I can. What I'll do is I will start and kind of go over the information until this glitch is resolved.
Okay.
So I will read from my presentation. So the applicant's request is to construct a new second-story addition to the existing one-story single-family house with an overall height of 26 feet 8 inches while maintaining the existing 1 foot 7 inch interior setback along the west side of the property that's adjacent to the attached garage. The zoning code requires a 5 foot interior setback. A 5 foot interior setback for buildings and structures that are 20 feet and equal to or less than 30 feet. So between 20 and 30 feet, you require a 5 foot setback. The project is exempt from CEQA review as a Class 1 existing facility pursuant to Section 15301, the state CEQA guidelines. The property is Zone R1R, Restricted Residential Zone, Floor Area Ratio District 2. The lot size is 11,520 square feet. The lot shape is an irregular trapezoidal shape, slopes up from the street and at the rear. However, the house is situated on a relatively flat portion of the lot, but again, it slopes from the street up and then a little, again, relatively flat at the building footprint area, and then it slopes further up at the rear of the house. The frontage is 37.94 feet along Bar Road, located at the end or towards the end of the cul-de-sac. The existing development, currently there is a 1-story, 1,318 square foot single-family house with the attached 2-car garage constructed in 1953. There is, as you pointed out, 1 Coast Live Oak protected tree on the backyard slope, approximately 10 inches in trunk diameter and 20 feet tall, which is proposed to be removed. And there are urban forestry comments that you referred to earlier, which will require the applicant to plant 2 new oak trees on the property. And the applicant would be required to comply with urban forestry conditions. had pictures of the house and a map, but I'm gonna jump to the site planning. And
Do we want to take a quick break to try to get this?
yes,
Yeah,
that would
okay.
be helpful.
So we'll go for a quick break and try to get the technical issue solved. Thanks. Looks like we're back. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Kiesel. So where I left off was we were discussing the location of the property. I have some pictures on the screen of the existing one-story house and the attached garage, again, located in the R1R zone, and the area surrounding the site as well as the same zone. This is an aerial view of the site location, kind of identify in the lower corner the existing interior setback to remain, which is the 1'7" adjacent to the garage. This is the proposed site plan, again, identifying the location of the existing garage and also highlighting existing setbacks to remain, including the street front setback at 15 feet. This is for the ground floor. The second floor would be set in from the ground floor, the existing setback along the opposite side, interior setback on the east side is currently 6 feet, 5 inches, which is proposed to remain. Again, the second floor would be further set in from there. And a view of the existing rear yard and the current conditions there now. And this is a close-up of the garage and the view from the street, which is proposed to remain in its current form.
So actually, let me ask you a quick question. The picture you just put up, the garage, and then looks like there's some wall or fence there.
Yes,
And
a
then there's the
perimeter wall.
gate.
Right,
And that's the area
yes.
that is 1'7" inches.
Correct.
Okay.
These are the proposed floor plans for the first floor and the second floor. So the ground floor would have the dining, the family area, kitchen. The second floor would have the master bedroom, proposed master bath, closets, and then 2 additional secondary bedrooms and bathroom and a laundry area. The design review board or the project will require, if the variance is approved, it will require design review board review related to the house remodel and construction of the new second-story addition. And again, that would take place if the variance request is approved. We will need to meet again prior to the design review board meeting. In the future, again, if the variance is approved with our design staff, to go over the design and prior to moving forward with the design review board.
So at this point, there really hasn't been any sort of tertiary design
We've
review?
had initial reviews, and we have had the applicant address comments. This is the design that was, the second design, if you will. However, this has not been reviewed with our design staff.
Okay.
So the elevation shows the proposed second-story addition over the existing building footprint, but not over the existing garage area. So the garage area will remain with a one-story volume. Again, the main building footprint will encompass it is within the second floor addition will be pretty much encompassing the entire ground floor, with the exception of the garage will remain in its one-story form. The overall height of the house with the second story will be 26 feet 8 inches. Again, that's overall from where the house comes out of the ground or exposed above the ground surface to the top of the ridge, inclusive of the second story.
I have one quick clarification question now that this slide is up. The west elevation, the front, whatever's shown underneath the house, is that just part of the landscaping? I mean, it almost looks like it's a basement, but I'm assuming it's a slope and there are existing walls there. Is that what it's?
So let me go
okay.
to the site plan real quick. That's a good point. So what we can see here, that it's landscaping, it's a walkway, and then I'll put up the existing photos just to get an idea of the existing, back. That's
Okay.
what's currently there now.
Okay, so that's how it's, because it looks like there's, a walkway, a wall there.
Right.
That's kind of how it's shown in the drawings.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then the applicant can confirm that, but it's my understanding that no changes are proposed to those walls. There are proposed walls behind the house. So along with the variance request, there are 4 findings that need to be made. They're outlined in your staff report. There's some draft findings. Would you like me to go over the findings?
If I have questions, I'll let you know, but we can have the applicant do that.
And in addition to the 4 findings, decisions related to development in the R1R zone should also consider the hillside development review policy also in the zoning code. So staff is recommending approval of the variance request, again, for the new second-story addition, without providing maintaining or keep the existing 1-foot 7-inch interior setback. So without providing the 5-foot required interior setback. And then again, draft findings are included in the staff report with the proposed conditions. And that will conclude my remarks.
Great, thank you. Why don't we have the applicant come up and speak, Arvin Sharinians?
Hi all. Yeah, so as you guys presented, the project is a new second-story addition, which is going to be 1,175 square feet. And as mentioned, it is staying within the current footprint of the existing house, which will be providing 1 new bedroom and 1 new bathroom additional to what the existing house has. As you guys mentioned, the full height of the house is going to be 26 feet 8 inches. There will be no construction done over the garage, and our request is to keep the existing 1-foot 7 inches setback for the existing garage due to the findings that I will present to you guys right now. Number 1 is asking how will the strict application of the provisions of any such ordinance result in practical difficulties or unnecessary hardship. As you guys mentioned, the project site is a hillside property which is sloping up from the street. The driveway is leading to a garage in not such a comfortable condition to be able to alter the current garage. On top of that, if we were to move the garage wall to match the current setback requirement, which is 5 feet, we would need to then push the other garage wall into the current house, which will potentially end up doing more demolition on the first floor instead of keeping it as is as far as the exterior of the house is concerned and the structural integrity of it. It will just create more hardship as far as what we can do to keep the existing house as is and do our additions. Yeah, on top of that, we have what exceptional circumstances or conditions apply to the property involved or intended. I just basically covered that, the irregular shape of the property, which is not a regular rectangle. The side property lines go sideways, which results in this condition that the garage wall can potentially not stay parallel to it to create the necessary setback or a walkway. Yes, on top of the sloping up driveway and the irregular shape of the property, and due to us not taking the route of demoing more of the house in order to put the second floor on top, this condition is basically created. And why will granting the ordinance not be detrimental to the public welfare? Well, as you guys mentioned, this is an existing condition which we want to keep it as is, so there will be no changes in what we have right now on site as far as that corner of the garage being close to the property line. So if this will be any detrimental to the public welfare, it should already be in that case. Why will granting the variance be keeping with the objectives of the ordinance? Well, like I said already, we won't be doing any new construction in that corner. We are staying away from doing construction on top of the garage to be able to resolve this condition. Yeah, due to the site condition and the steep slope of the driveway, the irregular shape of the property, given all of this, and no new construction being done specifically at that corner, I think we're complying with all of the requirements.
Okay. Is that it?
Yes,
Okay. So I've got a couple questions, but I'm going to let the other speakers go first.
sure.
Gary Kokonian.
Good morning. Do I
Hi.
need to press anything?
I don't think you do.
Awesome. All right, good morning. I'm Gary Kokonian. I'm the homeowner. I live at 1844 Barra Road in Glendale. Just wanted to say a few words about why we're doing this project for consideration. So I've been a resident of Glendale for the last 31 years since my family immigrated to the United States. My wife, who's here with me today, our 2 kids and the dog have owned this current property for the last 13 years in its current shape. We very much love our community, our neighbors, our neighborhood, and we've decided to embark on this project 18 months ago for those same reasons. I grew up in Glendale, went through the public school system here. As youth, I was part of the Glendale Youth Alliance when it was first founded, and spent 4 years with Glendale Public Works, working at various public sites, clearing dry vegetation for fire, to prevent fires. And I'm a member of the Glendale Rotary Club and contribute to various civic community projects, including the Cars for Cops and Kids annual car show. As our kids and family outgrew our modest 1,300 square foot house, the choice was to rent it out and go find a similar place, or to renovate. And for us, the choice was clear. We've created some great bonds with our neighbors. We love the neighborhood. Our kids have gone through the local schools, and we have a lot of great memories here. So today I'm joined here by my next door neighbor, who's lives adjacent to me in terms of where the question is concerning the variance. And, I hope he's here to show his support for the project. And I hope you will take these remarks into consideration in rendering your decision. Happy to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay. Neighbor, do you want to come up and speak?
I'm the neighbor, Arthur Kambikian. I live next door to Gary and Annette, and we've been living there for well over 11 years now. And to be honest with you, that setback has not bothered me, nor will it bother me moving forward. So I'm not objecting to this, and I wish that you would proceed forward with a positive outcome.
Great, thanks for coming. Okay, couple questions, but maybe the first one is, and you can come up, Arvin. The first one is just to clarify, the proposed addition complies with current setback requirements, correct?
Correct.
Okay. The only issue we're talking about is a small portion of the garage, or a portion of the garage, that is within, that will be within the
Required
currently required setbacks, correct?
Correct.
Okay, okay. Do you know how much square footage of the garage is within 5 feet of the property line? Do you know what I'm saying?
I would say less than 30 square feet.
Okay, okay. So of the current, it looks like 366 square foot garage, let's just say roughly 10%, a little less than 10% is within that 5 foot setback.
Yes, less than 10%.
Okay.
Maybe even less than 20 square feet now that I recheck it.
Okay, I mean, it sounds like you're understanding what I'm asking.
Yes,
so
of
that's-
course.
Okay, all right. Why don't you go into a little bit more why you can't demolish, let's say, the southern wall, the southern existing wall, a portion of which is within the 5 foot setback, and then just sort of shift the garage over north. Do you understand what I'm saying there?
Yes.
Go over what your thoughts are of that.
So if we want to comply with the current setback requirements, which is 5 feet, we would need to shift the garage wall, like you said, and make it parallel to the property line to be able to have the 5 foot separation. This will result in the garage to be pushed into the current first floor, and like I said, is going to puncture the existing exterior threshold of the building and question the structural integrity of it. On top of that, to be able to create access to the new garage condition, we would need to take out about 30% of the existing first floor to have an aligned driveway to create access to that garage. And defeats the purpose of what we are trying to do here, basically.
Okay, so basically shifting the garage north would, it's possible, but that would mean that, some portion of the existing house would also need to be demoed in order to access, in order to use the garage, because you need a garage door.
Exactly.
Correct? Okay. And I guess it wouldn't, the garage wall wouldn't need to be parallel with the property line. You could just shift it 3.5 feet up. But
Yes.
again, the 3.5 feet up would mean that at least 3.5 feet of the existing house would need to be removed
On the north side of the house, yeah, if you look at the first floor where the new kitchen is, that portion of the house, which is an existing portion on the first floor, will completely need to be taken out for at least 2 feet and 5 inches to be able to comply or actually 3 feet and 5 inches to be able to comply with that 5-foot requirement. So that.
Do you want to go up to the wall and show us? You don't necessarily have to speak because there's not a microphone, or you can try shouting. So we're talking about that area.
1'7".
Yep.
You will need to push it in about 3.5 feet, and you will take out this portion of the existing house.
Okay. And then my last question has to do with the retaining walls, the existing and the existing retaining wall in the back, and then the proposed retaining walls, and then the oak tree that your arborist recommended to be removed, and our arborist concurred with that. So can you maybe just go over that situation a little bit more clearly?
So the purpose for this new retaining wall is to create a larger backyard for the owner so they could actually utilize and put a couple tables and host guests and enjoy their property. If we want to push it back the amount we want, which is about 5 feet, it ends up going over the required amount of height, which is 8 feet. In this case, we needed to step it and create 2 retaining walls to be able to comply with this condition. As you mentioned, there is an oak tree not too far from the new retaining walls, which is going to be more or less halfway through the hill in the back of the retaining walls, which the arborist called out as being some sort of danger in the future because the tree is a young tree. It is located on a hillside and the roots are not completely in the ground, and in the future it could be a hazard of the tree falling on a new constructed house. So this would be a great, he mentioned that it would be a great solution for us to just replace it elsewhere on the property and make sure that the tree is planted correctly so no further danger will occur after the construction is done.
Okay. So currently there's a retaining wall in the rear yard.
Which is the dash line.
Okay, that was going to be a question. So from the face of the rear of the house to the retaining wall, the existing retaining wall, what's the range? It looks like at most it's 8 feet sort of deep.
To the existing wall?
To the existing wall, yeah.
Yeah, to the existing wall, exactly. It's about 8 feet.
Okay, and that's the max. It looks like it may be a little bit narrower as you go north.
Exactly.
Okay. And so you're proposing that wall to be removed, and then,
The new wall to be set back.
okay, and then what's the depth of that?
It is dimensioned on the drawing as 4 foot 4 inches. The first wall is going to be pushed back from the existing retaining wall by 4 foot 4 inches. This is face to face. And the second wall would be 5 foot setback from the first new retaining wall.
Okay. And the new retaining walls will comply with our setback requirements for retaining walls?
Exactly.
Okay. Okay. Just the last question. Ms. Toledo had, looks like 13 conditions or recommended conditions of approval, suggested conditions of approval. Do you all have any questions, concerns regarding those conditions? Do you agree with them? Do you have problems with them? Now's the time to let me know.
No, we're okay.
You're okay?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Great, thank you.
Thank you.
That,
I don't have any other questions. Oh, yes.
And I don't see any callers,
Oh, thank you, Milka.
so just wanted to For the
Okay.
record,
Yeah, thanks.
Fantastic,
there are
thank
no
you.
calls.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. I don't have any questions, any more questions of the applicant or homeowners or the staff. So that concludes this hearing of the hearing officer of August 24, 2022. Thank you. All right, thank you, guys.